Joined live now by U.S. Congressman Jonathan Jackson, representing Illinois' 1st District. Congressman, thanks for being with us early this morning.
Thank you, Audrina. Thank you, Mugo.
All right, I know it's been a busy time behind the scenes. We know that Harris, by estimates, could win that virtual roll call ahead of the convention here in Chicago. She's heading to Milwaukee after gathering up $81 million and raising that much money in just a very short time. What's happening behind the scenes right now with Democrats to make sure she secures all of this?
Well, she has the momentum. She's always had the momentum, and actually things are falling into place. There's been a natural order of succession, so if the number one person, President Joe Biden, seeks not to seek re-election, and he's done a marvelous job in inflation, in the Inflation Reduction Act. We're going to be able to service the city of Chicago. City of Chicago has some of the most leaded lines anywhere in the nation. That Inflation Reduction Act fully funded EPA to remove the lead lines. So that's going to be huge for us. And the number two has now stepped up to replace it. So it is Vice President who's going to be, I'm 100% sure, the Democratic nominee for the presidency. She had the momentum on the Biden-Harris Victory Fund. There are only two people on there. That's Harris and Biden. And so Joe Biden has done a marvelous job as president, and he has turned over the natural successor. There were some other people out there jockeying and making noise, but she's put in the work. She's capable. She's qualified. She's the most experienced of anyone in the field, having been a prosecutor, having been a attorney general, having been a United States senator, having served successfully under President Joe Biden. It's her time, it's her turn, and if she runs this race under her terms, and that's my greatest emphasis, she gets her people into the campaign and prosecute Donald J. Trump every day for the next 104 days, we will win.
Speaking of getting her choice, the biggest question, a huge question still, is who her VP pick would be. And I want to ask you, who would you like to see her select for that candidacy?
Well, typically we put someone in that would help the ticket. The Midwest is a huge part of the battleground, so I think persons in the Midwest would naturally have an advantage. Right now, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin are very critical to capture and win. I think some person from the Midwest would certainly have a leading advantage, but not to jump in front of it. That's her choice. There has to be a chemistry. People have to join her ticket. We would also look to see that in the next 3 weeks, she has time to make the decision. President Donald J. Trump, his former vice president that was threatened with being lynched, chose not to endorse him and chose not to run again with him. In contrast to what's happened with President Trump, he made his announcement the Sunday before the start of the convention. So she has another 3 weeks to vet a candidate. So I would give her that time. But first of all, she has to organize her campaign for her run. I'm so glad to see that President Joe Biden is feeling better, and he is eager to jump on the campaign trail with her. I look at us as having a straight shot to maintain the White House, to install Leader Hakeem Jeffries as the next Speaker of the House, and finish the work that was started with the Biden-Harris administration.
Congressman Jonathan Jackson, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.